Hey, lover. So lovely to be with you for today's Cuppa with Katie show. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a beautiful day wherever you are in the world. It's a lovely autumnal day here with a bit of sunshine, which is rather lovely. And I'm sat in my lounge room because I wanted to just feel super cozy and comfy when I came to you today. So welcome into my home, welcome to my lounge. And today I wanted to chat with you about the importance of creating your reality. It feels really, really important at the moment because there's so many fear stories going around, aren't there? It feels like wherever I go at the moment, I'm hearing fear. And this is nothing really new. Okay. It's what we do. It's what we dial into. It's part of the human experience. We do tend to, we notice what's going on that's scary because our brains are wired, right, to be on the lookout for anything that could hurt us, that could threaten our safety. So it's like, well, of course. And it's prudent to be aware of what's going on around you. And to what degree is your awareness of what's going on around you greater than your awareness of what's inside, who you are, what you desire, and how intentional you are about what you want to create in this one precious life that we get to have, right? Like there's always fear, always. I think back to my grandparents, and by God, did they live amongst fear. You know, they were born into they're just coming out of the First World War. They lived through the Second World War. I mean, they knew poverty, they knew scarcity. It was real. Um, we're living that in a different way. What we are living today, it's not particularly new. I'm sure there's plenty of people that will want to argue the point with me. But I'm feeling very inspired to bring this message forward today. I think we need this reminder. I think it is just so easy. We are so conditioned. We're so patterned. Like it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not our fault. We are conditioned into the fear stories. It's a habit of behavior, but habits can be changed, particularly those habits that are self-sabotaging, those habits that are not taking us where we want to go. And in fact, they're habits that block us from even being aware of where we want to go because we're like bunny in headlights. We're stuck still. We're having that fear response, the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. We're doing one of those. How about we don't do that? How about we get really intentional about who we are and what we want instead? And how about we get more intentional about what we want to create with our life rather than the what ifs at the moment, the uncertainty at the moment, the rising living costs at the moment, the potential nuclear war at the moment. My grandparents lived through rising living costs and through extreme poverty and through war. It's not new. Doesn't make it any easier. Like, I get it. It doesn't make it any easier. And I appreciate that I'm sat here in my very beautiful Sussex home, in a very, very safe part of the world. And I am incredibly privileged. There's no doubt. And yet, I'm not going to use that as an excuse to not be visible and say to you that it's because my reality I get is very different to the reality of many people. Okay. I also know that the majority of the women watching this, the majority of the women in my community, in my world, you are in the same privileged position as I am, in that we live in a relatively safe place. And yeah, we're like differing, varying degrees of privilege. I also appreciate that. And I know that the world I'm creating for myself has been very intentional. Had I not taken charge of myself, my life, how I feel, what I think, more than a decade ago, I would be living a very different life right now. I wouldn't be living in this beautiful Sussex home. I wouldn't be married to the man of my dreams. I wouldn't have the powerful, conscious relationship I have with my son. I wouldn't have the little handful of really beautiful friends that I deeply value. I wouldn't have the health that I have. I mean, I'm not saying my life is perfect. Bloody hell, far from it. And I think I'm fairly like honest and visible and open, sharing where my struggles and worries are. Of course, I have them. And I choose to live intentionally. I choose to prioritize how I feel, who I am, and what I'm creating for myself in my life. And I'm wondering, can you resonate with anything that I'm sharing here? Is this the reminder that you needed today? Is it a little kick up the bum that you needed? Have you noticed that you're focusing way more on all that you don't want, on all that you're terrified about, on what the hell is the world becoming? I'm not going to have any money in a minute because it's all going to go on my heating bills. Like, if that's what you're focusing on, I hate to be the reminder, and I love to be the reminder. It's what you are creating for yourself. I mean, that word creating, like, let's get creative here as well. Like, why lean into fear and brace ourselves and prepare ourselves for an economic crash? Get creative. How could you how could you live your life differently in a way that supports you through this? There is a lot of change coming. There's a lot of change happening. How? Like, it's about asking yourself better questions. How could you create your life so that you can move through the flux, move through the uncertainty, move through the change in a way that feels good for you? How could you create other streams of income for yourself? Right? Like, notice what you're worrying about and ask yourself, well, how can I create a different experience of myself? Because you are not powerless. You are not a victim. You do have agency and you can take charge of your life. And I get that there's a lot of challenge. I'm the same. Like, my energy bills have gone up, like everybody else's energy bills have gone up, right? um, Am I giving it any energy? No, no. I It just doesn't even occur to me. That's what's really interesting, actually. It doesn't even occur to me to give it attention, to give it my energy. It doesn't occur to me to bring it up in conversation because it feels so gross in my body. Like, talking about the price of things, I'm like, ugh, it just feels gross. I want to talk about what I'm creating. I want to talk about the lives I'm changing. I want to talk about the move we're making to America next year, which is full of uncertainty. And oh my God, I mean, I spoke to my accountant yesterday. My brain's going, "Rah," like, there's a lot of things I'm scared about. I'm scared about moving the dog and the cat. I'm like, again, first world problems. I'm just saying, like, we have to be now, now, in a time like now. And I remember saying this in 2020. I was going live every single day for months in 2020 when the pandemic first hit. My response to that was, I'm not going to go into fear. Fuck that. No, I am unavailable to buy into that. Did I sometimes get scared? Yes, of course. Was I more focused on how I desired to feel and how I desired to feel instead? Yes. My response to we have a pandemic, we're in lockdown, was to go live every day because it was a win-win because I needed to keep my vibration high. I needed to keep my eye on the prize. I wanted to focus on what I was creating rather than actually being a part of my destruction, which is what fear does. I wanted to move from fear to love every day, multiple times a day. I needed to be transmuting fear every single day for myself. And I thought, why not go live every day and help other people to do that? And you might have been a part of that. We were tapping, we were doing lots of EFT, we were doing meditations, I was giving journaling exercises. Like, we were freaking intentional at the beginning of 2020 for several months there. I don't know if anybody here live. And by the way, say hi as you're joining live. And if you're on replay, type hashtag replay. There's some comments actually. Hi, Kate. Good afternoon, my darling. Good to see you. Helen, great timing as I needed a break. Awesome. 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 We got to get intentional. And, I put a post out yesterday. You might have seen it. It was me in a bikini. Pretty brave. I actually sent a reminder text out, not like a reminder, I sent out a message on it. So if you are subscribed to get my messages, occasionally I will message you. It's not a daily thing. Occasionally I'll send you a messenger message or a text message if I think there's something important I would really love for you to see. And yesterday I sent that message out about, did you see the picture of me in a bikini today? And I had a few unsubscribes and it made me think, oh yeah, maybe this whole bikini thing could put people who are new to my world off and be like, who is this weird woman who's popping out pictures of her in a bikini and she wants me to look at them? Bit weird, right? If you're new to my world and you don't know me, that might be a bit weird. So maybe that was a mistake to do that yesterday. But those of you who know me, you get it. Why am I mentioning that? I'm mentioning it because the reason why I wanted to, I really wanted everyone to see that post yesterday because it really was an invitation to you to take a look at where in your life are you not shining? Where in your life are you dulling down, playing small, not giving yourself permission to go for what you want? And as I'm here chatting to you, it's occurring to me that buying into the fear stories and choosing to have conversations about the lack and scarcity and uncertainty in the world, like really participating in that, is the perfect excuse to not have to step outside your comfort zone and go for what you really want. It's the perfect excuse to not shine, isn't it? Because it's like, well, there's a lot going on in the world right now. I need to be battening down the hatches. I need to be saving my pennies. I can't be going off. Like, I was talking to my sister this morning. I'm looking at doing a retreat overseas in December. And anyway, I'm really moving into my expansive self around this decision, and I will probably do it because I know that if the idea is there, it has to be fulfilled. And I want my sister to come with me because I think it would be so magical to experience together. Now I've forgotten what the hell I was saying. Oh, I do this. Okay, perimenopause brain. What were we saying? I have no I have no idea what I was saying. Could someone tell me what I was just saying? Let me check the comments and then I might remember what I was just saying then. The excuses. I remember. Hello, 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 hello. Yes, I don't want to put my energy into negative and fear either. No, exactly, right? Ellen's here from Philadelphia. Hi, darling. Happy Wednesday to you too. About the news. Yes, Sandy, I was talking about the news and I was talking, thank you. Thank you. I was talking about how we can use it all as an excuse. I should be saving my pennies, not spending money on going overseas to a retreat that I don't really need, says my conditioned brain. If I move from my brain down into my heart and connect with my soul, I need to invest in whatever is calling my heart and soul right now that contributes to my soul expansion. What is more important? With self responsibility, okay, with self care, you know, like it's not about being frivolous and irresponsible. Um, oh, it's Vieira. Don't worry. I don't know what goes on with StreamYard. Don't matter. Nice to see you, darling. Really nice to have you here. Um, yeah, we can use these conversations around rising living costs, yada, 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 to distract us and give us the perfect excuse to not be the woman we came here to be, to not follow our dreams, to not invest in the thing that we know would propel us forward and help us create the life we want to create, whatever the hell that is. I think it's really important to remember that, like I said before, always going to be there's always going to be a big fear story. There is always going to, like, because my grandparents had it, my great grandparents had it. Like it's always going to be there. It's intensifying for us now. I feel for our kids, I really do. It's intensifying for us because of the availability of the information. It's just an onslaught. It's constant. And it takes real persistence and determination. And I would actually say self-love to rise above it, to not allow yourself to be available for it. I said in my post as I led into what I'm going to talk about today, my disclaimer was I don't watch the news. I just don't. I don't need to watch the news. It doesn't matter how I try to cut myself off from all of that low vibe energy. It still filters in. I know I have a pretty darn good idea what's generally going on in the world. My husband makes sure I know as well. He's limited his watching of the news and he's still pretty clued in, and yet that's his job. So he kind of has to be. I can cut myself off from the news. It still filters in. Every social media channel I'm on, I see it. When I'm sat in the nail bar, I hear it. When I'm on the train going to London, I hear it. I can't not see the headlines on the newspaper stands as I walk by. Like, I am aware. I just don't have to put myself through what feels like actual physical pain in my body, truthfully, like to sit in front of the news and watch it. I'm like, why would I traumatize myself like that? Why would I do that to myself? I choose not to. And like I was saying a little before, it's like it's such a new normal for me. Like I don't even have to choose to not watch the news. Like, it's just not on. I don't think about it. I don't participate. I don't participate in those conversations. I could go on a proper rant of the kind of stuff I hear out and about, the fear that people are buying into and what they're touting and how they're not even noticing what they're saying and how crazy a lot of it is. I just walk away and I don't participate. I am energetically unavailable for anything other than truth, love, high vibration. And not least, my line of work requires that. Like, I cannot serve my clients at the level that I am. I can't actually transmute and process a lot of the stuff that they bring to calls if I wasn't taking really, really, really good care of my energy. And I wouldn't be able to create the life I'm creating for myself and my family if I didn't take really, really, really good care of my energy. Sandy's saying she needed this reminder. I'm so glad. Thinking and talking fear and scarcity won't help improve any situation anyway. Exactly, right? Energetically unavailable. Exactly, Sandy. You can choose that. I am unavailable to participate in that conversation, to listen to that, to believe that, to take on that. You want to believe that? You want to live that fear? I will mind my own business. You do you. You do you. With love, do you. No judgment. I'm just not choosing to participate. I am unavailable. I am only available to connect in with the truth of me, with what I desire. And I am super intentional about giving myself permission to create that. That's what I am available for. And I'm saying that for all of us, right? That's what we are available for. That's what we are choosing. And so it is. Helen, I'm the same, Kate. I don't watch the news or listen to the radio. I find out what I need to know, but refuse to let it impact my life. Yeah. And, we're going to have our feelings about it. Oh my God, multiple times in the last couple of years, I've bawled my eyes out. I have been in great fear. I've worried. Of course, like I'm human. And self-love and something I teach is transformational living. It requires you to acknowledge those feelings, not just to like pretend they're not there and cut it off. Acknowledge them and move through them, and then choose what you're going to align with and focus on instead of staying stuck in all of that low vibe, heaviness, right? Perfect words, energetically unavailable to it. That's resonating today. Love it. Yeah, totally. And so I'm going to have to link this to those of you that are midlife single women. I know only too well the stories that we tell ourselves at midlife when we're single around how it's too late for me, how it can't happen for me, how all the good men are taken, how I can't afford to go out and date. I can't afford to upgrade my online dating to the premium level. Who's going to want me at this age? Who's going to want this package? Who's going to want my kids? I'm not as far forward as I should be in life. I should own my home by this point in life. A guy, girl, they're not going to, they're not going to want me with that bank balance or having only progressed this far in my career. Or they're not going to want me because I'm intimidating and I own my house and I have the great career and maybe I'll earn more money than them. I mean, where do I even stop with the limiting beliefs that midlife women have around their worthiness and their ability to have love in part two of their life? Like it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And it is very easy to kind of divert your attention away from the desire to be with someone. There's multiple excuses, and actually we've tapped into a few of them just already on this call. The shit's hitting the fan financially in the UK and probably in every other part of the world as well. I need to be careful. I need to batten down the hatches. I need to bunker down. I need to take care of me. It's not the time to be putting myself out there, doing anything that feels risky or uncertain. Isn't it? It's not the time to invest in myself and my desires. My 5-day challenge is coming up. It's free, by the way. Your investment is your time and energy. And would you be willing to invest your time and energy into that deep desire of yours to be ready for soulmate love? Or would you prefer to give your energy to the fear and the scarcity and the I can't stories and it's not possible for me stories? Right? There's lots of other things that will stop you from going after your desires. A really prevalent one is my life's great. I don't need a man. But it's not honoring the desire. It doesn't, yeah. Can your life be great? Can you not need a man and still desire one and allow yourself to have even more rather than putting a cap on how good you dare to let your life get? Like, I want you to the title of today's show is like create your reality. What do you want for yourself? Are you going to give in to the fearful voices in your head? Or are you going to intentionally go after the thing that you want and learn how to make yourself available to receive it? Because that's what I will teach you at the 5-day challenge. And that's what I support my clients with ongoing. Like, how can you become available to receive what you want? The woman you become in the process, that inner journey, that self-love journey, the woman you become through that process of transformational healing and growth, that woman can have the relationship that she desires. I had to grow up as a woman to be able to have the marriage I now have. I really had to grow up. I had a lot of healing to do, particularly around my relationship to the masculine. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a feminine energy. I had to learn that all over and give myself permission to activate that and come from that space. I had a lot of societal programming and behavioral conditioning that was super unhealthy when it comes to relationships. Like, I had my inner journey, my transformational healing journey, my self-love journey had me become the woman that was capable of not just receiving in the guy, but receiving the relationship and being able to have that relationship, hold that relationship, participate in that relationship. And that journey required me to constantly choose to create my reality every single day. I'm creating my reality. I'm not going to give up on my desires. I want to be with a man. I want to be married. I want to create a family. I am not going to give in to my fear voices. Honestly, when I invested in coaching support to help me to prepare to be the woman that could receive that man, I didn't have a lot of money. You could argue I didn't have the money to spend or invest. I think it would be a fair argument to say I didn't have it. I chose to create it. I got creative. I figured it out. I prioritized myself and my desires. I aligned with love instead of fear. I chose to create my reality rather than aligning with beliefs and behaviors and people that actually destroyed the reality I really wanted. Kate, I'm going to wrap up in a minute. I'm just going to check out these comments. Kate's saying, I refocused a view weeks ago as I realized my vibration was low and I was so focused on what wasn't going well and what I didn't have. Shifting to what I do have and what I desire has me feeling so much better and happier. Yeah. Yeah. And you'll have naysayers that are like, oh, you're living in dreamland. You're not in reality. You should be paying attention to what's going on. And your own voice will say that. And yeah, maybe. But how does that make you feel? And is that creating what you want? No. No. If the way that I live and Kate, the way that you live, if the way that we're all choosing to live is fantasy and unrealistic and, well, I choose fantasy every day. It's a choice. It works for me. I see it working for my clients. It's just the flip side of the coin. What makes you feel good? What makes you feel shit? It's pretty simple to me. Josephine, hello, darling. I don't allow the news to affect me. Everything in the world is going to pot, but I'm not. Although I can be completely potty, but in a funny, nice way. I love it. I can't wait to be with you again at the end of the month. I wasn't ready on the last one, but I am now. Pleasure, darling. I am so glad you're going to join me. Did you see that I'm doing the next challenge from a Hobbit house? There's lots of reasons why maybe that's not such a great idea, by the way. Like, I'm really crossing my fingers for the Wi-Fi. And I'm really crossing my fingers that because I'm going to be there with my dog Boomer. So this is when I'm running the 5-day challenge, staying in this little tiny, teeny tiny Hobbit house. It'll just be me and the dog in there, which I'm really looking forward to. It's a vision that I had, and it's come in really easily, and it feels really delicious. Like, I want to bunker down in a really cozy way and just host this challenge and create this really yummy container of space for all of you. Like, in this container, healing is going to happen and it's going to feel good and juicy. I've got 6 ambassadors on board as well. So, because we're expecting quite a lot of women on this one. So I've got extra help to hold you and nurture you. And just, I want you all to feel the safety of my little hobbit house. But not gonna lie, like, I'm like, well, Boomer, my dog, doesn't know this place. Is he gonna bark through through my lives because he doesn't know what's going on outside and it's unfamiliar? Is the Wi-Fi gonna work? We'll see. I mean, it should. I've asked all the questions. Fingers crossed. Send me good vibes. Send me good vibes. It'll be okay. But I have to follow my heart with that. It would make sense to stay home to, share the challenge from my office with super fast Wi-Fi and reliability. That would make sense. It's not what my heart's calling me to do. My heart wants me to be somewhere else, to feel expansive, to go on beautiful dog walks. We're going to be on the Jurassic Coast, so I'll be able to take Boomer on stunning walks and feel into that high vibe energy before I go live every night. Like, that's important to me. That's how I want to deliver my work. The last challenge I delivered from home, and I was really exhausted at the end of it because I didn't honor that need of mine. So that's why I'm doing it this time. Pleasure, Sandy, honey. Really lovely to have you here. I haven't seen your name pop up in quite a while. Yeah, the cabin does look beautiful, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm really excited about it. All right, my darlings. Well, look, I think I'll leave it there for now. I think I've got my message across. I think you feel me. Have a beautiful rest of your day. If you are a single midlife woman and you're not yet signed up to my Meet Your Soulmate Challenge, the link is in the description. It's completely free. 5 days of free coaching and support from me and from my 6 ambassadors who have all worked with me and who I deeply, deeply respect and value every single one of them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have brought them on as ambassadors. And I trust them implicitly to take care of you. If you have any single midlife female friends that would like to come to the challenge, share the link with them. Share the love, please. And let's just set our intention right now for the rest of the day, for the rest of this week, for the rest of forever, to stay connected with the truth of who we are and to choose to be more aligned with our desires and the life we are choosing to create rather than the opposite. Love you tons. Have a beautiful day. Bye.